the double dip on NFL Network on Sunday. Two more games starting at 1 Eastern time. Dolphins and Bears. Shortly before we went on the air, Ben Johnson said Caleb is not playing. So what's the scoop? I guess let's figure it out. Let's finish up here. You're reporting on Caleb Williams' progress. If he's drinking through a fire hose and they're throwing everything at him, why wouldn't they put him out in game situation right there in Soldier Field against the Dolphins, even for a little bit? What's
everybody's got their own philosophy in terms of the cadence. I would imagine you're going to see a lot of Caleb in the second game. Okay. This is probably the best opportunity for Tyson Bagent, a guy that the previous regime liked a lot, to go out there, get his reps. It's way too early for red flags on Caleb. I've seen some of the viral videos and I've seen some of the quotes, but let's see. Caleb Williams is a gamer for sure. He finds ways to make things happen. A big part for Ben Johnson is just reining him in a little bit. That's an ongoing process. I'll be most interested to see week one, because listen, Ben Johnson is not going to roll out the whole scheme in the preseason. He's not going to have the wild plays and throwing at the tackles and pretending to fall down and all those things.
Nice.
Let's see as we get into week one. It's gonna be national TV. It's gonna be Monday Night Football.
Oh baby.
Against the Vikings. It's not that far away, Rich. You think about how close week one is right now. It's under 30 days. We've still got a handful of unresolved situations across the NFL. We talked about Micah Parsons, but we still don't have resolution right now on James Cook and the Bills. He is still not practicing. I know that people have fixated on the $15 million number that he put out there at one point. My understanding is at this point, James Cook is looking for closer to what Kyron Williams got, which is 11, than he is the 15. But there's no such thing as close. There is only done. They're not far apart, but this deal is not yet done. And so keep an eye on how that entire thing plays out. I would anticipate that if I'm the Bills, I want to bring this to a head sooner than later and get the player on the field. With Terry McLaurin in Washington, that's another one. He did not travel up for the joint practices in the game against New England. Either way, the Commanders are planning on McLaurin being a part of the team and playing. He's on the roster. He's due close to $20 million. He's currently on the PUP list, but they're fully anticipating one way or another that he's going to be out there in week one. And then Trey Hendrickson, there's just not been a lot of movement on that one over the past couple of weeks. We talked about it on the show. They're more or less in agreement on the big numbers, the years and the total money. It's just about the guarantees. I can tell you, the Bengals have gotten calls about Trey Hendrickson. They haven't really signaled that they'd be willing to deal him. And similar to Dallas, if you trade him away, unless you get a pass rusher or two in return, how on a team that you expect to compete this year do you replace that type of productivity? This is 4 players of that stature, that caliber, Rich. We haven't had a lot of times recently, whether it's holdouts or in this case hold-ins, that many Pro Bowl, all-pro type guys with unresolved situations at this point in the calendar. We're going to the first preseason weekend, and that's 4 guys who are all at different stages of the same problem, which is the team is making them an offer, or in Micah's case, hypothetically would make him an offer, but they're not where the other side wants to be. And we'll see. Ultimately, everybody's got to make a choice. Every player's greatest leverage is withholding their services. Well, it's a lot different to withhold your services in early August when you might not be getting fined or fined a small amount versus getting closer to the season and suddenly having game checks taken away. We're going to be monitoring all 4 of those extremely closely here over the next several weeks.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.